Contestant number 1. James Jeffley, don't mind the heat. Don't mind the heat. James Jeffley.
There's an old story that says if you want to cook a frog, do not put it in a pot of hot water. It'll jump out. Instead, put it in a pot of cool water. And then slowly, click, gradually, click, dial up the heat. Eventually the water will boil and the unsuspecting frog will be cooked. Madam Toastmaster, distinguished guests, and fellow frogs. Do you ever feel like your life is like that pot of water and somebody's dialing up the heat on you? Your parents said, get your education, get a good job. Get married, they said. Settle down, have some kids, they said. And many of us took their advice and we jumped into the pot of life. And it was cool at first, wasn't it? Remember that first big job? That was great. Until you realized, oh, I have to work with other people. Click. Is it getting warm in here? And then some of us got married, and that was cool at first. And then we realized, oh, people change. Click. Is it getting warm in here? And then some of us had kids. Click. And they became teenagers. Click. Click. Add to that financial issues, health issues, divorce, death, click, 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 click. After a while, it gets so hot, we feel like we're in a Nelly video. I am getting so hot, I want to take my clothes off. It's getting hot in here. Do you ever feel like your life is so hot that you just want to jump out of that pot? Yes? A word of advice. Don't. Because we're not frogs. We're more like half-baked bread. And what's true is, most of us aren't done yet. Turn to someone next to you and gently poke them. Do they feel squishy? Yeah. Say to them, you're not done yet. There is something still cooking in each of us. And I'm not talking about a business or a book or an app. I'm talking about that thing within you that is necessary to bring all of your dreams to life. Maybe what's cooking in you is courage or compassion. Or maybe what's being cooked in you is strength or resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, don't mind the heat of life. It's part of the process. Instead, mind what's cooking in you. Life has no shortage of interesting ways of dialing up the heat. I was reminded of this fact a few months ago on a particularly warm evening when I got a text from my ex-wife. It said, do you know where our son is? Well, I didn't feel any heat because I knew the answer. Yes, I do. He's in Concord with his friend Noah, Noah's mom at the jumping place. Ha ha ha. And then I got that odd feeling that witnesses must get when they're being cross-examined. You know, they say a lawyer never asks you questions they don't already know the answer to. Yeah, I found out the same is true for mothers. She texted back, no, he isn't. He's in Oakland at a hockey game. Oh. Click. It got warm. I said, okay, I got this. I'll call him. I called my son, and sure enough, since our last check-in, his plans changed, and he forgot to tell us. Oh, I was hot. I wanted to dial the heat up on him because he didn't call, he wasn't where he said he was going to be, and he's a little brown boy all by himself on a Friday night in Oakland. Click. And that's when I felt the heat. Because in that moment, in the video screen of my mind, flashed all of the news images of little brown boys who have been killed for being little brown boys. And I thought that could be my son. And I had to impress upon him the importance of checking in, but I knew I couldn't do it from a place of anger. I had to change my approach, and I realized the universe was trying to bake something in me. Compassion. So when I saw him, I said, Cayman, are you all right? Did you have fun? He said, yeah, Dad. I said, Cayman, do you know who Trayvon Martin was? He said, no. Oh, wait, was that the kid with the Skittles? Yeah. Do you know what happened to him? He died. He was killed. He was a little boy about your age, and he was killed for just walking down the street. Son, I love you, and I don't want that to happen to you. So I need you to call and check in if things change, because I need to know that you're safe. You see, I've learned that there are two kinds of heat in life. There's the kind of heat that transforms, and then there's the kind that just burns. What's the greatest source of heat in your life right now? Is it the destructive heat of an abusive relationship or a toxic work environment? If so, you may have to do what President Truman said and get the heck out of that kitchen. Or is life trying to dial up the heat in you, in your relationship, in your job, in your family, because what you're experiencing is the heat of transformation? It's trying to cook something in you, like courage or compassion or strength. If that's the case, don't run from it. Run to it and allow it to mold you and shape you to increase your fortitude, to bake that thing in you that is necessary for your evolution. Ladies and gentlemen, poke them again. Are they still squishy? Yeah? You're like that half-baked bread. You're not done yet. So when you feel like the heat of life is getting dialed up on you, remember, don't mind the heat. It's part of the process. Click. Mind what's cooking in you. Madam Toastmaster.